Hi guys, welcome to another episode of How To Tuesday. Quick tips for new and experienced lure anglers, hopefully helping you guys catch more fish and fish more efficiently. So this video is going to be a very quick one, and it's going to be how to rig a soft bait onto a jig head. Simple when you know how to do it, but some people, you know, if you're a beginner, you get a bit confused with this sort of stuff. So we're going to go over it quickly today, hopefully help you guys do it in a more efficient way and get more fish on the bank. So you'll need two things for this: jig head and your soft bait. So the most important thing with the jig head is picking the right size jig head. Too small, like this, you're going to miss a lot of fish. Your hookup rate's not going to be as good, and it can make the lure fish worse as well if it's designed for fishing with a bigger jig head. So too small, no good. On the opposite end of the spectrum, jig head too big, again, mess up the lure's action, can result in less fish caught, especially, you know, if you go for smaller fish with a bait like this, you've got this massive hook sticking out of it, they're going to miss the hook. So too big can be a problem, too small can be a problem. You've got to try and find the perfect size jig head. Now, most respectable lure companies put on the pack a recommended size, such as this one, 11cm coated perch, recommended 3/0 jig head, or 3/0, 3/0, whatever you want to call it. That's a recommended size, so 3/0, 4/0, something around there, you're gonna be fine. But let's just get a lure out of the packet really quick. Best way to check really is you just get your lure, just measure your jig head up against it before you put it in, and you're gonna be wanting to look at getting that point coming out somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 way back in the lure body. So if you've got a 10cm lure, you're gonna want it 3 to 5 centimeters back from the head of the lure, basically. So this is 11cm. I'd probably say that's about 4 centimeters from the head where that hook's gonna come out. Got a decent enough gape, not too much that, you know, if the fish are biting tight, they're gonna miss it, but not too little, like, you know, sort of like if we just had tiny gape like that, you're gonna miss a lot of fish then as well. So you've measured your jig head up, you've got your lure, now it's time to rig it. So again, I'm gonna measure the jig head up against the lure like so, mark out where that's gonna come out of the body. So on this, with it being a perch pattern, I can see it comes out where that second stripe is. So I don't even need to mark this, but if you did on a bait, you can simply just put a little mark with the barb of the hook there. You've got a little hole, not sure if you'll be able to see that on the camera, but you've got a little guide hole there showing you where you can get that hook point coming through. So rigging it up, you want it to be perfectly straight, you want good hook exposure, not too much hook exposure. So the best way to do it, rather than trying to do it like this, where you can't see sort of the angle of the bait, do it looking straight down the lure like this. Especially if you've got a little bit of a translucent lure like this one, you can see that it's coming down a perfectly straight line, you can see where the hook is, or you can sort of gauge where the hook is, and you can get a better judgment for where it's going to come out. So I'm going to quickly do this in front of the camera. So got our hook, we know it's coming out of that second line there. I'm just going to put it through right in the middle of the head, slowly bringing it down and straight out there. Push it through. There's your rig jig, perfectly straight on there. That is ready to fish, and that is all there is to it, guys. Pretty simple. Like I said, once you know how, it's an easy thing to do. Some lures are a little bit hard to rig than others, especially if you're trying to put the bigger jig heads in your bigger soft baits. This is an 18cm. It takes a little more effort to get them straight because you're working that through a lot more plastic, but a little bit of patience, it's perfectly fine. So key things to remember: pick the jig head size before you try to put it in the lure, measure it up, mark up where it's going to come out, and then just do it slowly. Take your time, and you'll have a perfectly rigged soft bait like this. So let me know what videos you want to see next in this how-to series. Hopefully that has helped some of you guys out, and I will catch you guys in the next how-to.